I'm going to take you through a intro to Salesforce demo. So first of all, when you're first added to Salesforce, you're going to get an email like this. And the subject line is going to be, welcome to Salesforce, verify your account. So it'll look just like this. And when you go and click through verify account, it'll ask you to set up a password. Once you have that password set up, that's going to be your login to the Salesforce backend. So there's two different ways you can access Salesforce. So there's two links that you may need to save. The first one is the student or the educator portal. So that one has a different link than the back end of Salesforce. So the back end of Salesforce is very similar to the back end of Campus Login. You can do a lot of different functions, you can see a lot of different things, and you can access absolutely everything. Whereas the student portal and the educator portal have access to very specific things. For example, a student can log in and see their personal information, they can submit a time off request, and they can see their grades. Whereas for the educator portal, they can take certain actions like log an infraction for a student, submit a lunch hour adjustment, or submit grades for a certain assignment for a student. So there's very specific action that you can take on the portals, whereas on the back end, you can see absolutely everything. So certain people are going to have access to both of these. So the backend Salesforce, that's like finance, admissions, admin, education, marketing. Whereas if you're a student or if you're an educator working just day to day in the classroom and you're not doing any admin stuff, you're only going to be using the portal. So when you set up this verification, that you see the URL here, that one is going to take you here. So let me show you what that looks like. So I've already logged in. If you just set up your account, it will be asking you to log in. So this is what kind of the home screen looks like when you log into Salesforce. So there's one very important thing for you to know first. It's these little dots right over here. This is how you can access basically all the functions you need to access in Salesforce. So this is called the app launcher. So if you click into this, you see a bunch of apps pop up, but you can also search for things. So I'm already in student success. That's where a lot of us are going to be living. On the admission side, we primarily live in student success. On the admin side, we primarily live in student success. This is where you can do things like, access student files, look up students, those sorts of things. And the thing I really want to highlight here is there's this search bar. So if there's a specific area or if a specific function that you're trying to find, like if you're like, oh, I need to be in, let me see, if I need to be in program management, for example, I can search here and click through there. So this searches through like absolutely everything in Salesforce. You also have a search bar up here. So this searches for everything that is in the app that you have selected. So this is like a really broad search of absolutely everything. And this is searching inside of student success. This will also search inside of student success, but say, for example, if I search like a student name, I'm not going to see like a student name come up here. So if I'm searching for a student, I would want to go to student success and then search up here. I'm going to use a test account, and then you can see this test account right here. So if I go and click through there, I can see this account, which is a student. This is a test account right now, but we can see that we have a lot of information here. So we have a lot of different functions that help different departments. But right up here on this main details section, you can see a lot of core information. So you can see, for example, the name, preferred name, pronouns, what program they're in, their start and end date. Their student number will be populated here as well. Student card expiration date, that's just their last day. Student card issued date, first day. Or when we print it. And then you can also see like their number of infractions, and then how many are attendance and punctuality, how many are conduct and compliance. You'll also see the student flag. So we have this new flagging process as well. So green means they're all good. Yellow means, we might need to watch out for the student, make sure that everything's all good. Orange means we're kind of concerned, and red means, they've hit a pretty high level of like missed time, lower grades. So this is a student that might need a lot of active support. program status, they're active, they're currently in the program. And then you can see additional information on this side. So like the phone number, the email, the student's locker number, if their failed assignment count, so anything below 70% will automatically total here. Their cumulative grade for the whole program so far, the hours they've attended to date, the class that they're in, and then a few tuition items that live more so under finance. The other piece that I want to draw your attention to here is this section down here. So this is all the communication history. So you can see, oh, this person has submitted a day off request. You can see, they had a check-in booked with Kalina yesterday. You can see, they had a tour. This is also really great because you can see if they have had, they said they were going to be late or they didn't clock in, aka they didn't attend a certain day. So this is kind of that valuable admin information. So these basically every communication, every calendar event, like a check-in with Kalina, for example, any of those things are going to show up here. This is the history, and then upcoming is, if they have anything in the future, like a day off request, or if they have a future appointment booked with Kalina, for example. So that's kind of a starting point of what this looks like over here. We have a few sub-tabs like marketing, service, student card. Academic enrollment is more detailed information into what they're enrolled in. And then under related, this is like the payment information for finance. So you can see there's quite a bit of information here. Under related, we can also find some other things. So if we have like files uploaded, like obviously here we have kind of the standard ones for the application and their contract. But say, for example, we have any like formal letters we've issued them, they could also be added here. And you can also see their attendance detail too. So if we want to know, and their grading as well. So if we want to know like, oh, this person failed an assignment, well, what assignment was it? We can kind of go through here, find the one that they had a bad score on and click in and see the details. And you can even see, hover over it and see some details as well. And you can see like clock in, clock out, all of those sorts of things here under attendance. And if you go into view all, you can see their attendance for all time. So this gives you some of that kind of like intro information for students. So this is what the student area looks like. So this is a very kind of your starting point on what the back end of Salesforce looks like. So there are specific people who will have this back end access, like myself, Kalina, the admissions team, Natasha, those sorts of folks. But if you are an educator or a student, you're going to see the student portal. So if you are going to the student portal for the first time or the educator portal for the first time, what you want to do is go to this section up here. Oops, I'm logged in. Let me log out. If you're going here for the very first time, let me just open this link again. You are going to see this login button in the top corner. So you're going to select log in. Your username is always going to be your email. And if you haven't logged into the student portal before, you're going to want to go to forgot your password so you can set up a password for you to log into the student portal. So your login to the back end and your login to the student portal, I would recommend setting up as the same password just to make it easy for yourself. But setting up your login for the back end, which is this view where you can see everything, and setting up your login for the portal, those are actually two separate things. So when you are in the portal view, whether you're a student or an educator, it looks a little bit more like this. And if you're a student, you're going to see a bunch of tabs across the top. So if you're a student, you're going to see a bunch of tabs and you're logged in. You also have to be logged in to see it. If you're a student and you're logged in, you're going to see tabs across the top, like your grades, your hours, your funding information, any announcements. So anytime there is like an update, for example, like a grade is logged or you've hit a certain percentage of missed time, that'll show up as a student under your announcements. And on the educator side, when you log in and you're an educator, what you're going to see is you're going to see a few different options across the top, like log hours adjustment, log infraction, and then you're also going to see some options for grading, class list, etc. So this is the portal view. So the portal is access to very specific things. It's a lot simpler. It's really clear where your inputs are. Whereas on the back end, you have a lot more access to pretty close to almost everything. And you can see all the student grades, all the student history, the itemized attendance, all that good stuff. So that is a very basic intro 101 to where things live in Salesforce and the difference between this backend view, which looks like this, where you can see everything. Oh, and I'm logged out. And then this front end view, which is the portal. And so depending on who's logging into the portal, it's the same link for both students and educators. If you're an educator and you log in, you'll see the educator content. And if you're a student and you log in, you'll see the student content. So it's the same link for both educators and students, just what you're seeing is going to be a little bit different.